Scrivener supports many different file types which you can import as research. This includes PDF files, image files, web pages, sound files, and movie files. To import research, you can locate the files in Finder and drag them directly into Scrivener's binder, or go to File, Import Files, and locate them from there. I can now click on these files in the binder and they will appear in the editor. Typically, they will be imported into the research folder, which is provided for this purpose. Remember that you cannot import media files like this into the draft folder, because the draft folder is intended for the writing in your finished manuscript, so it can only contain text documents. Attempting to move another file type into the draft folder will give you a gentle reminder that this isn't possible. Even in projects where the draft folder is renamed, such as the manuscript folder in our own novel templates, it can only store text documents. However, it is possible to import an image into a text document if you want the image to be part of your finished manuscript and not just an image for reference. To insert an image into the text, click at the point you want to insert the image and go to Insert Image from File. More information about this is available in another video. To import a web page, I can go to File, Import, Web Page. Alternatively, with the page open in Safari, you can click on the URL bar and drag this icon from the left of the URL into your Scrivener project binder. Note that this process may work slightly differently in other web browsers. When you import research into Scrivener, a copy of the research files is made inside the Scrivener project. This means that even if you delete the original files in Finder, they will still be available inside your Scrivener project. However, in the case of high-resolution images, sound files, or video files, this can lead to the project becoming quite large, since these file types typically take up a lot of storage space. If you want to keep your project file sizes down, consider importing your research files as aliases. To do this, go to File, Import, Research Files as Aliases. This imports the research files so they appear in the binder but are loaded from their original location on disk, rather than being duplicated and stored along with your Scrivener project. But there are a few things to remember if you use this feature. First, if you update or overwrite the file, the alias in Scrivener will also update to match it. Second, if the file is deleted from your computer, it will no longer be available in your Scrivener project. And finally, if you move the project to another computer or the Scrivener mobile app, the research files will likewise not be available. So generally, it might be best to avoid importing your research files as aliases unless you're confident that is how you want to handle them. The research folder doesn't just have to include media files. You can create or import text documents as notes and research, storing them in this folder, or anywhere else in the binder for that matter. When you have imported research into Scrivener, one way of referring to it is by splitting the editor and displaying a research document alongside your manuscript as you write. By creating a vertical split here, I can have my manuscript on the left and my research on the right. Another video in this series will cover editor splits in more depth, so make sure to watch that video if you want to know more. Research files imported into your Scrivener project can still be updated if they need to change. Let's use this image as an example. I'd like to desaturate the colors to better evoke the mood of my novel. I can't do this in Scrivener, but I can open it in an external editor easily by using this button on the right-hand side of the footer bar. If I click on this button, the image opens in Preview, which is the default app for images on macOS. I can also do this by going to Navigate, Open in External Editor. But if Preview can't make the changes I require, I can open the image in a different app by long pressing on the same button. This opens a list of apps that can open images. In this case, I'll use GIMP, but this is where you will find Photoshop or any other image editing software you have installed. I'll desaturate the image and export it, saving over the image I originally imported. Back in Scrivener, you'll notice this hasn't made any changes yet. but I can click the refresh button on the right of the footer bar to reload the file from disk, updating the image saved in the Scrivener project, and the changes will now appear. One final note. Although Scrivener has native support for images, PDFs, sound files, movie files, and web pages, it can in fact import any file type. Any file types not natively supported by Scrivener will be shown in a quick look preview of the file where possible. For example, it's still possible to open a quick look preview of a spreadsheet or a slideshow presentation, even though these formats are not natively supported by Scrivener. As you've seen in this video, Scrivener's support for all these different files makes it a powerful tool for referring to research right alongside your manuscript. That's all we're going to cover in this video. If you want to learn more about the features of Scrivener, our other videos should be linked nearby. Thanks for watching, and happy writing!